Hi, I'm Maya Rafua. This summer, I've been working in the soil lab at the Chicago Botanic Garden, digging deep into the world beneath our feet, the soil microbiome, and how it plays an essential yet often overlooked role in the growth and development of plants. When we talk about the soil microbiome, we're referring to an intricate community of bacteria, fungi, viruses, and other microscopic organisms living in the soil. These tiny organisms, particularly beneficial bacteria and mycorrhizal fungi, engage in a symbiotic relationship with plants. In exchange for excess sugars produced by the plants, these microbes make crucial nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and carbon bioavailable in the soil, as well as other benefits. However, this delicate relationship is often disturbed by intensive agricultural practices. Excessive tilling, for instance, can break up the soil structure, damaging aggregates that house bacteria and destroying hyphae, the root-like structures of fungi. Excessive fertilization also harms the soil microbiome. By providing plants with nutrients directly, it reduces their need to maintain their symbiotic relationship with the microbes. This not only leads to the decline of beneficial species like mycorrhizal fungi and plant growth-promoting bacteria that rely on plants to survive, but also eliminates the other benefits that plants gain from their symbiotic relationship, such as pathogen inhibition, drought resistance, and regulating soil pollutants. Root systems also become less robust when relying on fertilizers. In my project, we're exploring ways to restore the soil microbiome in damaged soils, work that could be crucial for prairie restoration. We've potted native prairie plants in soil treated with active microbiomes from different sources. We're comparing their growth to plants in sterilized soil, which has no microbial activity. But restoring the soil microbiome isn't instant. When new bacteria and fungi are introduced, they compete fiercely for space and resources. Sometimes a single strain dominates, sometimes multiple strains coexist, and occasionally the plant might even reject them. This process takes time, so we keep measuring and rooting for emerging trends. You might have also noticed the variety of plants that are being tested, from grasses to forbs to legumes. This is because not only do different species interact with microbes in different ways, but a wide variety of species are necessary to facilitate a healthy and robust soil microbiome. This is directly paralleled by the agricultural technique known as monocropping, where only one species is planted in a space for ease of treatment and harvest. Singular species can only house and interact with so many microbes, depriving the soil and the microbes themselves of that biodiversity. Soil reclamation refers to the process of converting disturbed land to productive uses, and is all about improving the health and fertility of the soil. While my research is focused on the restoration of native prairies from damaged agricultural soil, there are many things you can do to help your own soil microbiome at home. Some things you can do include adding compost to your soil to boost microbial activity, minimizing tilling to preserve the structures of the soil, and planting a wide variety of species, especially plants like legumes for their nitrogen-fixing properties or perennials for their minimized soil disturbance and more robust root systems. By taking these small steps, you can help create a healthier, more resilient garden ecosystem. I hope these soil-bound microorganisms have grown on you. For helping me with this groundbreaking project, special thanks to Layla Rakiwi, Louise Egerton Warburton, Sarah Jones, Kyle Dant, the CBG staff, my fellow REU interns, especially Isabel Dalton for her help making some of these drawings, the National Science Foundation, and of course, the Chicago Bean. Couldn't have done it without you, and thanks for a great summer.